Hey everybody, it's Brian here. Hope you're having a great day. We're going to get right into it. I'm awake, are you? That's the name of this podcast and this channel and this family. And we at this channel here and this family here, we are looking for the pre-tribulation rapture to happen at any moment. And why are we? Because of all the events going on in the news every single day, even as I speak right now. Prophetic things are happening all around the world, pointing to the tribulation time. What is the tribulation time? It's mentioned in the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 27. It's in Revelation, chapters 6 through 18, and other places mentioned in Scripture. It's a time of Jacob's trouble, Israel's trouble, not the church's trouble, Israel's trouble. We are removed right before this event happens, and we are in heaven for 7 years while all hell's breaking loose down here. All hell's breaking loose right now, but that's nothing compared to what's coming. This is the good old days. Right now is the good old days. It's going to get so bad. People will, at one point during the trib, will seek death and will not find it. You'll jump off a building, break every bone in your body, and you won't die. Because you'll try to escape the torment. And you'll be able to, and you'll know it's coming from God. He'll reveal himself during this time. It says the mountains, they cry for the mountains and the rocks to fall on them and hide them from the presence of one who's on the throne. Revelation chapter 16. What a time that's going to be. But we're not going to hide ourselves while men are crying out for rocks to fall on them. We are crying and throwing our crowns before his feet in Revelation chapter 4 and 5. We're worshiping him and falling down before him and worshiping him with hundreds of millions, if not a billion, believers and hundreds of millions of angels. Can you imagine what that worship must sound like? You've ever been in a large church service and all the believers singing at the same time? What's that sound like? Oh my goodness, we're going to be there. And actually, technically, we've already been there. Okay, that's another story. John saw our future, and we were already there when John saw this. That'll blow your mind today. You're already there. But you're not there yet, but you were, because he was in our future. Wow. This is what we're waiting for. This is what we've seen. This is the blessed hope. All this turmoil going on right now, all this garbage going on, the elections and the wars, the rumors of wars, just the stuff we see on TV and the movies and the sitcoms and the garbage they're just shoving down our throat every single day. We're looking for the blessed hope, Titus 2:13. He's going to bring a crown of righteousness for those who are loving his appearing. And I know all of you who are watching for this, you're not thinking about a crown. You're just thinking, get me out of here. Beam me up, Scotty. I've had enough of this place. This place is getting old. I've read a lot of your comments today and last night. I haven't responded much because I've been so busy. When I push a heart on your comment, it means I've read it and I'm praying for you. It's not just I'm pushing the heart. I'm letting you know I've read it and I'm praying for you. If I haven't hit that, I haven't read it yet, or I've just missed it. And I try not to miss too many. A lot of you are just it's going to get better. I'm going to keep saying it until we're gone. Don't give up. You're here for a reason. You're not here just to suffer pain and anguish. That's not God's will at all. Be in the scriptures. Be worshiping him. Don't isolate yourself if all possible. I've read some comments where your families come against you. I totally understand that. Find a new family. Find a church family. Find somebody who's like-minded, anybody, and pray with them. Meet with them. Meet for coffee. Whatever it takes to get through this life, that's what you do. We're soldiers in a war. And if you see somebody that's struggling and they've been wounded and they're laying in the field of battle, you don't leave them. You leave no soldier behind. You go back and you get them. What do you mean? Call them up. I've been praying for you. Maybe they can't pay their electric bill because they just lost their job and you've got a lot of money. Pay their electric bill. Don't even tell them you're doing it. Just do it. or give them money, give them food, give them water. What happened in the book of Acts? What happened? When the Spirit fell, everybody talks about that in the church, especially the charismatic churches. They were speaking in tongues, prophesying, healings, all this major stuff. But you know what impresses me the most of that whole passage? They were getting saved, and they were selling their possessions and giving to those who had need. Don't see that happening in the church too much, do we? We have a fat church. Let me tell you, in the U.S. especially, there's a lot of money in our churches. A lot of us are struggling, don't get me wrong. Okay? I'm there with you. But there's a lot of believers that are very successful. And I know some believers that have a lot of money and they share it without even thinking. God bless them. But when you see somebody in need, no matter what that need is, it doesn't mean money. It could be a glass of water. Your reward is in heaven. Is great. If you see a need and you have the ability to meet that need and you don't, you just send. I've done that. I've sinned that way before. In a hurry. Don't want to deal with it. I've had enough. I'm tired already. I've had a bad day. Just shut the door. I've done that. But that's not what God wants. In these last days, who else is going to lift each other up? Is the world going to lift you up? Is the demons out there tormenting you going to help you? No. The saints of God, who God put here, He uses to bless others. Now, God can use unsaved people to bless you, but it starts with the family of God. And in these days, like I see on this channel a lot, some comments came in yesterday, and I can't remember. I haven't looked for a while. There was 9 replies to this one comment of this person who's having a really hard time. And I was like, wow. And I think maybe it's more than that now. And I started reading it in depth. I was like, wow, these are godly men and women. And these men and women are going through it too. And they're still praying for this person. God bless you. You know who you are. You know who you are. God bless you, bless you, bless you. You just stored up treasures in heaven. That's what I'm talking about. What happens on these platforms like this one here and others, what I just mentioned, needs to happen in the churches. Can you imagine if this happened in the churches? What kind of churches we'd have? Instead of being critical of a person, you came alongside them, lifted them up in their most worst time of their life. These are the times we're living. I'm not going to read any articles today. I had some stuff planned to read. It's been one of those cray-cray days at work, and I've got things got to do right after this. But we're going to be going live tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. A lot of you are going, yay, 7 o'clock instead of 6:30. It's getting darker later in the morning. So we're going to do it at 7 to 8. Tomorrow morning, we're going to go live. I'll post it when I get off here. I'll upload this, but I'll also post it to remind you. We're going to talk about some things tomorrow. I got an idea what I'm going to talk about, but whenever I get an idea what I'm going to talk about, I end up talking about something else because God just switches. I'm not real stringent. I make my plans, but God directs my steps. That's why I want to do these podcasts. Let God direct what's actually going to be said and done. Because if I don't, then it's just a waste of time for you and for me. If you're not going to hear from God, then why do this? It's a waste. And there's no time to waste. The rapture's about that. Saints, I say it every day, and you're thinking, oh yeah, I hear the same thing. I go to all these other channels that say the same thing. Yeah, he's coming any minute, any minute, any minute. But I'm still here. I'm still here. I know. I don't know when. I wish I did, but I don't. But I'm telling you, and you see this. What's this? If the rapture doesn't happen this fall, this October, and we go into the fall and it still hasn't happened, what's the next few months going to look like in this world? I don't know if you guys know this because you're on top of this stuff, but a lot of people don't realize, especially a lot of believers, how close we are to Armageddon. When the rapture happens, it does not start the trib. The signing of a peace treaty starts the trip. But sudden destruction will sure come when the rapture happens, when planes are dropping out of the sky, cars are ramming into buildings and into people because no drivers. That's going to be sudden destruction because the rapture just happened. But the signing of a covenant with the many starts the trip. That's what starts the clock. We're not here for that signing. We're going to miss it. Sorry to say. Won't be here for that. We're going to see the scroll unleashed and take it out of the right hand of him who sits on the throne. And every time a little scroll is untied, judgments on the earth, the seal judgments. Every day I get all distracted with what my job and my life, like you guys do. But then when I take even a minute or two to kind of just settle myself down, even now, it's been a crazy day, talking like this and talking about this, talking to you through this camera, it sobers me up. It reminds me, man, we're almost out of here. So guys, I'll see you early in the morning, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in California. Unless an earthquake takes us and puts me into the ocean and have beachfront property. Earthquakes are off the chart down here. It's cray-cray. And I love you guys. Hang in there. I'll see you in the clouds, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. This is Brian out. Bye-bye.